Hello there, I'm going to tell you a story about faith, hope, and a little bit of magic. Are you ready? Our story begins in a bustling seaside town where the sun shines bright and the air is filled with the scent of salt and possibility. Here we meet Jairus, a respected leader of the local synagogue, but today his usual confidence is replaced by worry and fear.
What can I do? I've tried everything. Wait, I've heard about this man Jesus. Could he help?
You see, Jairus has a daughter, just 12 years old, and she's very, very sick. And so Jairus sets out to find Jesus, his heart pounding with hope and desperation. Meanwhile, at home, Jairus' daughter lies still, her life hanging by a thread. Every moment counts in this race against time. As luck would have it, Jesus had just arrived by boat and a large crowd was already gathering around him. His presence seemed to light up the shore, drawing people from all walks of life, each hoping for a miracle of their own.
Excuse me, please let me through.
Finally, Jairus reaches Jesus and falls at his feet.
Please, my little girl is dying. Come and put your hands on her so that she will be healed and live.
Lead the way, Jairus. I will come.
As Jesus set off with Jairus, a large crowd followed, pressing in on him from every side. But in that crowd was someone else in need of a miracle, a woman who had been suffering for 12 long years.
If only I could get close enough. If I just touch his clothes, I will be healed.
With determination in her eyes, she pushed through the crowd, inching closer and closer to Jesus. As the woman drew near, Jesus suddenly felt something. A touch, different from the press of the crowd. A touch filled with desperate hope and unwavering faith. Finally, she was close enough. She reached out her trembling hand. The moment she touched Jesus' robe, she felt a change surge through her body. And Jesus? Well, he felt it too.
Who touched my clothes?
You see the people crowding against you, and yet you ask, who touched me?
But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it.
It was me, Lord. I'm sorry,
Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering.
As the woman's face lit up with joy and relief, Jairus watched anxiously, hoping for his own miracle. But just then, some men came from Jairus' house. Their faces told the story before they even spoke.
Your daughter is dead. Why bother the teacher anymore?
Jairus' heart sank. He felt the world crumbling around him. But Jesus overheard their words and turned to Jairus with a look of determination.
Don't be afraid, just believe.
With those words, a spark of hope reignited in Jairus' heart. When they arrived at the house, they found a scene of chaos and mourning.
Oh, the poor child, what a tragedy.
Why all this commotion and wailing? The child is not dead but asleep.
The mourners laughed at him, but Jesus remained undeterred. Taking only the child's parents and his closest disciples, Jesus entered the room where the girl lay. The room was quiet, filled with a heavy silence and the weight of grief.
Talitha cum.
Which means, little girl, I say to you, get up. For a moment, nothing happened. Then,
It's a miracle!
the girl stood up and began to walk around as her parents watched in awe and tearful joy.
Give her something to eat.
With those simple words, Jesus reminded everyone that even in the midst of miracles, we must care for the everyday needs of others. And that, my friends, is what can happen when you take a risk of faith. Sometimes the most amazing miracles start with just a little belief. So, the next time you're faced with a challenge that seems impossible, remember Jairus and the woman who reached out to touch Jesus. Sometimes all it takes is a little faith to change everything.